Hello? What is a stream streak? Is that a new Twitch thing? This looks sus, yeah. I forgot how easy it is to draw Among Us things. Because no one plays it anymore or talks about it. So it's become a forgotten relic until I decided to bring it back. But hello. Is the music okay compared to my voice? I don't know if I'm gonna be talking louder than this. I probably will if I get too passionate about something, but I got my hood up. I'm cozy in my hoodie. There's distant construction noises happening outside my house that I haven't moved out of. Tad lower. You know, like this chill music that I'm probably gonna get copyrighted for. It's fine. Is this the new place? No, I said I haven't moved out. I have not moved out. Aha. 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 You think after taking a 2-week break from streaming, it would have meant I've done something, but no. Aha. 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 Just I'm not really in a super energetic mood for streaming, and yet here I am doing it because I haven't done it in a while. Oh my god, I forgot to color in the little Mungus bow on the girly character. There. Which one is your favorite Mungus? Mine is the gray one with the blue cap. Because he's being impolite and pointing at somebody. So... what is it? The past few weeks... The past few weeks have been kind of like a busy blur in that I've just been busy with work. I guess... as a whole, it hasn't been busy. I've just been mentally down, I guess. It's not like, I don't know if I would say it's sad, like a what's the point type of vibe, you know? Like, what's the point of anything sort of feeling. This month has been kind of like that. Like, what's the point of doing anything, and what's the point of continuing to do things outside of, like, routine and expectations type of thing. So I've just been not hard with work. Been busy with work, and then when I haven't been working, I was hyper-fixated on Water Park Simulator because I decided to make a new run of that after having beaten it the first time. It's just it was not a good game. It's just another, like, one of those, like, what do they call it? Pre-asset slop. There was a term for it I remember hearing. It's like when you have, like, games that already have, like, the pre-made assets and you just throw a simulator game into it very quickly or whatever. It's nothing, like, super creative or there's no ingenuity to it. It's not bad. Obviously, I've played it a lot. That's the only game I've been playing in the past 2 weeks after work. So I was just trying to, I should probably draw something while talking. I don't know, I didn't want to go away from my Among Us screen. But, I preloaded some rough drafts of potential faces that I can put on here or something like that. I don't know. I haven't drawn in a while. The last time I drew a little bit yesterday after I finished 100%ing Water Park Sim, and it was just a smidgen little bit. But I'm just gonna draw whatever comes to mind. It's probably just gonna be girls. But what was I saying? Oh, Water Park Sim. It's just another one of those, like, it's I don't mean to disparage it by saying it's a half-ass. It's just a game that's like another sim game that you have like pre-made assets that, and there's nothing like original about it. You just have a lot of busy work and you're running a water park. But they, at the very least, Water Park Sim prides itself on not using AI generated assets or anything like that, according to them. They even updated their banner on Steam to have like they commissioned an artist, like a 3D model or something, to put a lady on there, so that's cool. But the final achievements that I was working really hard and grinding to get had to involve like handing out 500 flyers to promote your park, which is difficult to do because there's an item in game that you can, or there's a thing that you can do in game where you can hang up like posters to promote your water park, and you attach them to trees outside the park. But if you have those up, then that means people are gonna are gonna spawn in already wanting tickets to your park, and you can't take them down so that you can make it so that you are the one promoting it, like physically with the handouts. So that took a lot of like grinding. And then the second achievement that I was having to like grossly struggle with was cleaning up 500 poops in pools, because the characters can poop in the game, and that's pretty gross. And what makes it even grosser is that if you let the poop sit in the pool long enough, it turns the water brown, and then you have to swim in it to clean it up. It's great. It wasn't great, actually. It was really struggle, because the one way to like really efficiently get poop to spawn was to remove all the bathrooms. Remove all the bathrooms in your park, and that made me sad. As soon as I hit that achievement, I built all the bathrooms back immediately. I was like, I hate this. I'm hiring back my cleaners. I can't do this. I hate this. Cleaning up all this fucking poop. It was so gross. Can you imagine going to a water park, not having like bathroom availability? And like, you know, obviously, if you're going to a park with no bathrooms, you probably wouldn't be able to begin with. There's probably regulations, but at the same time, if you don't have access to a bathroom, just the thought of keeping your pants on or your bathing suit on and then shitting in it is kind of horrendous. As part of the simulation, it's not a simulation I would ever want to live in. You know, I don't want to ever be in a position where I shit myself and then go about my day. I'll be like that one woman who I had the misfortune of encountering. Well, I didn't like physically like interact with her, but on the public subway going home, and clearly needed to use the bathroom so badly. She covered herself, her like face with like an umbrella, and then proceeded to poop herself on the train. She was clearly very embarrassed and ashamed. She clearly couldn't hold it in, and it was just like a really unfortunate situation to be in. I'll never forget it, but I also wish I could, so that she doesn't inadvertently feel shame from someone else for having remembered that situation. How's it going, aesthetic coloring girl? Welcome to the stream. Right now I'm just talking about nonsense. Unfortunately, the nonsense is we're currently in the stages of talking about poop in a game. How common is the pooping in the game? Well, if you have bathrooms in the game, if you have enough like toilets, then it doesn't happen. But if you remove the toilets or you don't have enough for how big your park is, then, you know, it happens. Especially because I expanded my park. I'm talking about Water Park Simulator, by the way. Cute drawing. Thanks. I haven't done much of anything with the drawing yet, but thank you. What was I saying? I fully expanded the water park to like its max. So it was a really big park with a lot of like pools and slides and stuff. I just built as much bathrooms as I could because I built up so much money as is. Because once you get to a certain point, you have no more. What do you call them? There's like things to like spend research points on to like upgrade and stuff. Once you max those out, there's nothing to really spend money on if you don't care to like aesthetically revamp your park. But I was doing that as I was going. So yesterday towards the end, I was like, okay, I have to pass out a few more flyers, pass out like 20 more flyers, 10 more flyers. And as soon as I hit the achievement, it was like the first third of the day. I was like, oh, I hit the achievement. I immediately closed the game and I uninstalled it. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not playing the game anymore. It's funny to be hyperfixated on a game for as hard as I did, and then as soon as I did all the achievements that I needed to do, I leave it immediately. Being hyperfixated on a game and then not being married to completing it the day. I was like, I don't need to finish the day. My immersion is ruined having to clean up all this poop. I'm out of here. I have to focus on other things in life. Like my sadness. My overwhelming nihilistic views of life and the world. And the overbearing sadness that has plagued me this month. I think it's just been a combination of like multitude of things, but the one thing that's been like really like bumming me out is the home situation. That, you know, I keep saying like, oh, it'll happen, and based on what I've heard, my scheduled closing day should happen presumably next week. At least it better fucking happen next week, because the week after is gonna be like Thanksgiving week, and most people are probably gonna be away. So I would imagine that people are gonna try to get it all done before then. But who knows? I've been saying that it's gonna happen this time. It's gonna happen this time. If you had one wish for your channel specifically, what would it be? I swear, if you're promoting something, I just want to save you the trouble of not. I'll save you the trouble of telling you that I'm not interested. I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you're trying to sell promo. But did you end up trying Power Wash 2? I have it. I bought it as soon as it came out, but unfortunately, due to someone by the name of Mr. Chris Mad, he wants us to experience the game together as a group, and we haven't had a chance to get together to play it, so I've just been sitting on it. Although, if it doesn't happen at some point, I'm probably just gonna tell him that I'm just gonna play it. But we'll see. I'm trying to learn Europa, whatever 5. It keeps humbling me. I assume it's a game. Is it like a strategy game or something? Like, do you throw out this name as if like that's a common thing that people play? Maybe it is. Maybe in your wheelhouse. Is that the word? I think it is. In your wheelhouse. It's. I said Wilhelm, like the Wilhelm scream. If it's something that's in your circle, it's probably a common thing. Grand strategy. Hello, Twisha Barrett. Welcome to the stream. It was front page briefly in Steam. Yeah, based on the name alone, it doesn't sound like something that I would actively look and be interested in. How's it going, Yuki? Welcome to the stream. We're just mindlessly yapping. Or I'm just mindlessly yapping. It's not weird. I am. I'm mindlessly yapping and just drawing whatever. But, Yeah, hopefully the whole moving situation will be sorted soon. I haven't been living out of boxes. A lot of my things have been packed away, but what I've essentially done is like have like a couple of pair of like shirts and even less pants, and I just keep wearing the same thing because I don't go out much, and when I do go out, I'm luckily the type of person that doesn't really like have like BO, or I'm not sweating profusely that I need to like change out of clothes like that frequently, so I just wearing the same thing because I don't care. But I did do laundry earlier today. Finally got a chance to wash my jacket, my light jacket that I've been wearing, even though it's been like frigid cold these past few days. I suck at making art. Can you give me some pointers? Also, what are you making? There's nothing. I'm not really drawing anything in particular. I'm just doodling stuff. Before starting stream, I just drew a random like rough heads that I'm just gonna fill in with like faces and hair and whatever. Nothing specific. As for pointers, the typical pointers is just a matter of like looking up references, learning from other people's drawings or like real life stuff, and just kind of having an eye to know what to look for. I say this as someone who's just a hobbyist. I don't do this as a professional. I don't do this on a professional level. Although some people say that I could, but I don't have the assertiveness or the confidence for that sort of thing. But it just requires a lot of practice and learning how things work, especially if you're talking about like drawing like people, learning how things move, how things fall into place, and then at some point you just have to learn to like just draw whatever makes you feel comfortable, even if it's like a little bit exaggerated. Do you like anime? I'm not like against it, and I'm like familiar with like anime names and like themes and all that stuff, but I admittedly have not watched anime in years. I don't watch anything because I don't have the patience to sit down and watch things, but I'm an avid reader of manga. I spend more time doing that over anything. You've never done these in work? Not even for print projects? Not professionally, no. Not like outside of like a hobby, like for my own personal gains. Like the little art book that I printed, that was of my own, like, that was just a passion thing for myself. But for work, I mean, outside of like maybe like a few commissions, if you want to count that, but nothing like professional. Like I never had a company come up to me and be like, hey, we want to commission you to do this stuff. Although I did at one point. I won't say who, but there was a company that reached out to me on Instagram wanting to work with me, and we at one point attempted to schedule a call. But they ghosted me. I think it's probably because they were trying to get like younger people who they could like probably take advantage of for exposure rather than having to pay. And when they found out that I was a grown woman who worked a 9-to-5 job, when they found out I was a grown woman who worked a 9-to-5 job trying to schedule a meeting, a Zoom, like it wasn't a Zoom call, it was a group, the Google Meet, they ghosted me and they never contacted me back. And I was like, well, that's a shame. Because it's a company for a game that I love. But I won't say more than that. It was really funny when it happened, though. It's like, oh shit, you're a grown adult who understands how, like, payments work. You won't do things for exposure. I gotta go. It's funny, because I think if they had actually asked me to, like, draw something for exposure, I actually probably would have. Because I didn't really care. But it's funny that after I gave them the inclination that I was a grown person who worked at 9 to 5, that they weren't interested in talking to me. Like, they were actively looking for people who like were like probably young and who had a lot of time on their hands. Manga is also good. Yeah, manga is nice because it's way easier to read the story than it is to like sit down and watch like a 20-minute episode of an anime. Assuming that you're a fast reader. I'm a fast reader, so I get things done. I get series done quicker than if I were to watch a thing. Yours beautiful, thank you. I don't feel like I've done much of anything, but I appreciate the kind words. But yeah, I think if I were someone that grew up being more assertive and more confident in themselves, maybe I could have been like a freelancer or something for art, or been one of the people that like lives off of commission and Patreon and stuff. But especially in this current environment for art, for the art kids, where money is tight, AI generated stuff is on the rise, strongly on the rise. Being a freelance artist, surviving on commissions and like all that stuff, it's too volatile of an occupation for me to comfortably ever live in. That's why I work a shitty office job. A shitty office job that wouldn't even grant me a day off because we were so busy. That's actually one of the reasons why I've been feeling a little bit bum. Thanks for stopping by, Aesthetic Culling Girl. Have a good day. But it was a few weeks ago. I have a lot of PTO days saved up, so I attempted to try to take just one day off, just so I can have like a day to myself, because work had been like piling up, but work had just been kind of busy for me specifically, and it was gonna get even more busy. So I just wanted to take just one day off. But instead of getting it approved, my boss messaged me asking me why am I taking the day off, and because I'm such an honest, pure, rather than lie to say that it was for like reasons that I can't say, or like say it's a doctor's visit or whatever. I told them that I needed to work on packing and cleaning because I was gonna be moving in a couple of weeks. And my boss was like kind of saying like, you know, it's the holiday season where we don't usually let people take off unless it's like something for like it's important and blah blah blah. And technically speaking, at one point they did say that like, oh, if you just let the person who would be covering you know about all the things that you're like tasked to do, and just to make sure that they can cover you while you're gone, it's like, it was like, you know, when you say it like that, it sounds easy enough to do, but because so many people relied on me for like what seemingly sound like stupid small tasks, but it was a lot, I was like, you know, I don't have the energy to like tell this person to do all this stuff last minute, especially because the person that would be covering for me is not even an actual employee at my company. They're a outside contractor, whatever, or what they call it. They have them on a retainer, I think that's what they call it. Like, they've been with the company longer than me, but they're in charge of like certain aspects, and I'm in charge of like other things that other people look to me for stuff. It's hard to explain without getting to specifics, and I don't really feel like getting into specifics, but I just gave up, and I was like, okay, whatever. This sounds like way too much work. Like, if people can't wait on me for like just a day so I can come back like another, like more refreshed to like take on the all the work and stuff, like if people can't wait on me, like if things are gonna be that urgent, then I'm not gonna fuss with it. So I like a coward, I rescinded my PTO request. And then my boss tried to like meet in the middle, being like, what you can do is maybe just be around for the morning, and then if people need you in the afternoon, just be there, but like, you know, you don't have to worry about being like sat in front of your computer for the entire day, if that'll help. And in my head, I was like, that's literally already what I do. But I was like, I didn't fuss with it. I didn't fight it. If anything, I just tried my best to like be passive aggressive and like guilt trip my boss into feeling bad about the fact that I'd asked for 1 day off, knowing damn well that out of everyone in the company, I've taken off the least amount of days off. So now whenever I interact with my boss, it's very like polite and just no casual talking and stuff. It's just very only work related stuff. So I work in an office job. I don't have like shifts. I very much solely work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. It's just that especially during the holiday season, we get really busy because activity ramps up for me. Well, for everyone, but for me, a lot of people just look to me for a lot of things that they... It's amazing how you really take for granted the amount that you know when you're like terminally online or on the computer like me. And you take for granted the amount of things that you know. Like, there are people out there that are younger than us who... I say us, I mean younger than me, I guess, who like don't even know, who don't understand the concept of a JPEG or a PNG or like whatever, that stuff basically. That and like to really to explain it like very simply. And then having to help people find like JPEG files of certain things, or like convert like PNGs to JPEGs for something to work. And it's like, this feels like something that should be so easy to understand, but I guess I can't expect everyone to like be on the computer to understand, like, especially if you're someone that like is more on the phone. When you're on the phone, you don't think about JPEGs or PNGs. You're just saving whatever picture shows up on your phone. So to have someone younger than me be like, what does it mean what is a JPEG, what does a PNG mean, and blah blah blah, and it's like, my god, this is crazy. But they don't even know the poor old BMP. I don't know what a BMP is. Bitmap? Sounds like it would be for bitmap, but I know that word, I don't know what that is though. One of my friend's boss would gossip with you and then tell that person who you gossiped about. Yeah, those people... I remember when I was younger, there was someone that I worked with who I thought we were like chummy and good friends with. I thought I was good friends with them. But they were the type that always had something to say about everybody. Like always negative stuff. And then like, it was once they left, or once, wait, no, it was one, we don't know, well, they moved away, but still worked at the company, and then I left the company. It was only afterwards that I realized just how like toxic of a person they were. That they were just the type of person that just always had like something to complain about somebody, and they always thought that they were like above everyone. Like, I'm not above like gossiping about people if they're like, you know, if they're dookie. I like, sometimes I'll have like negative feelings about people or negative opinions about people, but I feel like I'm the type that can also like point out like the good in them. Especially if we're talking about like work. Like if you're a hard worker, I'll like be like, you know, they probably work really hard, and I see that they work hard, but also they're just annoying kind of thing, you know. Or the opposite, where like they don't do shit, but I know they're a nice person. That's kind of what happened with I think I talked about this at one point in my previous streams, where one of the workers, or one of the employees at my company was let go very suddenly, abruptly, because for a long time they felt the upper management felt that they, in their position, or rather the person that got let go, they weren't doing a good job based on their role, so they just very abruptly out of nowhere let them go. And people in general always had like opinions about that person. Like, they weren't like the hardest worker. They didn't have a lot to do. And then when they were expected to do something, they would just always fall short because they weren't willing to learn or be proactive. And they were one of the people that, you know, honestly good for them, but they would make use of all the PTO that they had, even when they had more PTO than everyone else because they negotiated that way. But, you know, they weren't a bad person. They were very young. They were put into a position at work that, like, they clearly weren't, they weren't suited for. They were put in a manager position then when they weren't ready to be a manager, kind of thing. But they were nice. One of the things that shocked me about them was that they had seen I don't want to be specific. There was like a musical group, a pop group, we'll just say. They sing, whatever, right? They have gone to their shows 14 times in total. They had last told me. I was like, you went to concerts and stuff for these people 14 times? I was like, that's a huge commitment, and also like that takes a lot of money. I was like, damn. Also, your ears, you get so fucked up watching 14 concerts like that. I have a friend like that. She hates everyone. It's just hard to deal with those kind of people. Yeah. It's a shame because, like, sometimes it's a little bit fun to gossip about things that happen in work, especially if there's, like, things going on that doesn't involve you. But, sometimes if someone just has nothing but complaints about people, then it usually just means, like, internally they have their own issues that they need to sort through that they just don't see. Like, I usually, like, now more than ever, I usually just try to stay out of people's businesses, but sometimes it's just nice. Sometimes it's also fun to just, like, poke an ear out and just to hear what people have to say about certain things. One can just use headphones. But yeah, I don't know if they thought to wear, like, ear protection, because the reason why I even came up in conversation that they told me that they went to see a show 14 times was because the last one that they had went to, they had gotten like an ear infection or something, and they were talking about tinnitus, and then they were talking about the shows and all, the amount of shows that they had seen, and I was like, what the fuck? I guess when you're young, you don't really think about, like, the long-lasting, like, damage that kind of thing can happen to, like, do to you. I don't know. I don't go to concerts that often. I've only ever been to, like, music concerts. I've been to 2 in my life, both with my cousin. And I guess they were loud. I don't really remember. I'm sure they were loud. But if I'm going once or twice, then I'll be fine. I do have a little bit of, like, I think I have, like, a little bit of tinnitus that occasionally rings, like, it'll occasionally flare up, but it's nothing serious. I think I will listen to things at like a really decent, like, level. I get too, I'm, like, a bit too sensitive to, like, loud sounds. I am sensitive to loud sounds, bright lights, heavy movements. I'm just a sensitive young lady. Oh, well, no, that's a lie. I'm a sensitive old lady. They're just unconsiderate? You mean inconsiderate? I've never heard unconsiderate. They're just being inconsiderate to themselves, so it's like, that's their own fault. That's their own ears. You don't take care of yourself. If you're not bothering anyone else, then whatever, you can do whatever you want. Actually, one of the shows that I had gone to, I haven't really thought about it in a bit. It was for Shawn Mendes. That was a lot of fun though. At the time, I was really into Shawn Mendes. Not like a hyper fixated into, but like, he's a good singer. I don't know if he's been singing like new stuff recently. I don't really follow the pop scene anymore with music, because all the music I listen to nowadays has just been like Japanese pop. There's one song. I don't think it's new. It was for. I think it was an opening song for Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know what season. Season 2? I think I remember the name. But it's by King Gnu? King Nu? I don't know how you pronounce it. It's King GNU. But the song is called Specials? This is gonna get copyright, but let me play it right now because it's a really good song. It's a good song that like I'm gonna pop it up right now. I don't care. It's gonna get flagged. All of my videos, all my streams get flagged because of music. King GNU Specials. That's it. That's all I'm listening. It's a really fun song to listen to though. Hello, can you play? Thank you. It's the type of song that makes you want to like gyrate your body. But yeah. Nowadays, I'm pretty sure like a lot of music concerts and stuff like are like way out of my price range to ever afford. Especially if it's like for like Western singers. Then I don't think I like anyone enough that I would go and watch. I think at one point I considered watching a show by Kenshin Yonezu or Ado? I'm pretty sure it should be Ado. Just like Japanese singers, but I considered it and then I completely forgot about it, so I never looked into it again. That's the extent of my commitment to it. Does this look like I flipped? The test. How do you flip something? Here. Damn! That fucked her up. Is this salvageable? I'm gonna try to fix it. Yeah. What else has been going on? I know most recently Reddit has been making a lot of memes and jokes about how like in the political sphere that like they're making jokes and like leaking fake rumors that apparently Trump had given Bill Clinton a blowjob or something at some point. So just a lot of jokes about that, and it's like, huh? Goddamn. But I mean, if it gets people talking about the whole Epstein stuff, then have at it. It's just really funny that people, it's just so funny how like things become memes and get joked to shit. But looking outside of like looking at like past like political stuff, something that had been like trending or became a thing was there's like a subreddit called Kitchen Confidential or something, and someone on there has been like posting almost every day of them chopping up like chives, and it's like they've been posting it being like cutting chives every day until Reddit tells me it's perfect or something like that. And they've been doing really good, but occasionally there'll be like some pieces of chives that are like a little bit too like long or like got missed. And so people on Reddit, because it's the internet, are making like freaking like 9/11 jokes with some of the long pieces of chives that get missed. They're showing like planes driving into them and stuff like that, or flying into them. And it's like, that's like, you know, that's the online humor, internet humor stuff. But it had become like a pretty popular thing for people to like see. They gained a lot of traction, and then at some point, the people over at the Philly's cream cheese brand decided to make like a promoted ad referencing those chive posts to promote their chive cream cheese, and people are like, ew, ruined now. It's so funny. Considered going to Otto's concert in Copenhagen. The concert came to the conclusion ultimately I don't like concerts. Yeah, obviously, like, there's a lot to like have to take in when it comes to concerts. Like, you're going to a place with like a lot of other people, and a lot of them are gonna be really loud. A lot of shouting, a lot of like breathing in the same air as everyone, if it's indoors. I saw like occasional like videos of people sorry, I was about to sneeze and it went away. You know how they say that sneezing, it's like the reason why we say bless you is for your soul to like not go away. Sneezing, like your soul leaves you or something like that. But when you say bless you, it means your soul doesn't leave or some shit like that. I think that's what it was. They said about it. That's why people get blessed when they sneeze. If you're in the process of about to sneeze and you don't sneeze, does that mean it's your soul being like, I changed my mind, I'm staying in here? Why does it do that? If you're about to leave, you should just commit to it and just leave. Leave my body, I don't care. If I sneeze enough times, do you think I'll die? Has anyone died from sneezing too much? I'm gonna Google it. One second. Can you die from sneezing too much? Let's ask that again, but minus AI, so I don't have to see Google's AI. Sneezing can cause changes in chest pressure and capacity that affects the heart rate and blood flow, but the heart itself doesn't stop. Is rarely a sign of a from what little I'm reading, it doesn't seem like it can. Sneezing may cause sudden death. What? What is this? Singapore? Did someone die in Singapore from sneezing? Heart trouble? Oh, damn, I don't want to read all this. It's rare. Basically, it's either so rare or it just doesn't happen. Basically, I shouldn't be concerned. I guess that would make sense. I have a friend who... She's the type of girl... I feel so bad for her, but whenever she sneezes like 10 times in a row. So she'd be like... Achoo! 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 And I'm just like... whenever I'm there with her and she's doing that, I'm like staring at her, waiting for her to stop. Before I say bless you. And it's like, that's rough. But her sneezes are like they're not like the aggressive one where you go like kind of thing, right? Because the louder it is and the more aggressive it is, then it hurts. It can hurt your like ribs and stuff, or like your body in some way especially if you hold it in. But for hers it's like literally like a like that's probably not gonna hurt you. I can sneeze. I think my sneezes can be like mildly aggressive, but I always hold in my sneezes. I never let it out. Because I hate the thought of my snot flying out of me. Especially if I'm in a place that's not home. Did I fix this after I flipped it, by the way? She still looks like butt. She kind of looks like she's staring into nothing. Which, I guess that's like the internal mood. I've really taken to the word nihilism. And I wish I had remembered what I read when I had looked it up. But there's like things that are like outside of nihilism that people believe in called like absurdism and some other ism that I don't remember. I literally don't remember any of the stuff that I had read at the time when I looked it up, so I'm just not gonna even try to pretend to even know what I'm about to say, but my view on life has been very, very, very... a real downer, I guess you would say. It's not like... I don't... like, it's like depressing, like... when you look at it in one perspective, right? But it's not like me feeling like it's the end of the world, I'm super sad, I'm so like depressed. It's more like I've just like given up on like a blissful, happy sort of life where I can just like forget all the things that go on in the world, you know? You know how some people will go about their lives like going on trips, hanging out with friends, having a family, getting pregnant, getting married. Like, I just like I can't like obviously inadvertently I'm always subjecting myself to that sort of lifestyle because obviously I'm streaming right now and I'm clearly in a privileged position where I can do this while everyone else is either like, or while other people are like, you know, struggling in life. But like, I don't know, I just don't see a point anymore. Like I've cut down on like shopping for myself outside of like food and like any potential household necessities. Like I don't buy things for myself anymore outside of food. And I feel like it's just a waste of money to buy things when I know it's just gonna go in the trash at some point in my life. Excuse me. I just feel like I also like, personality-wise, I'm just not I'm not a go-getter type of person that's willing to like make the changes in my life to quote-unquote better myself to fit into society's standards, like in terms of like, say, like have a family, get married, have friends. Well, no, I have friends, but like, you know, do things that people typically would do when you're not living in a world saddled with a lot of negativity and like turmoil, you know. I guess comparatively, when I see other people living their lives normally, happily, and I'm just like sitting in front of my computer wondering, thinking to myself like, what's even the point? Why am I doing what's the point of me doing all the stuff that I'm doing right now when I don't even care? Like, I'm just a little bit like, there's a little bit of resignation in my mental like capacity, but it's not enough that I'm like, I feel like completely stopped living. Like I'm still going through the motions. I probably would benefit to some capacity if I went to go see a therapist. I mean, I'm not, but I'm sure in some ways it would probably help. But I don't know. I don't have the money for that kind of spend. A total nihilist. What would be an indication of being a total nihilist? It's not even about the prices, because technically speaking, like because I don't do anything, like I don't spend frivolously on things, on like experiences or like just material goods and stuff. I save up a decent amount, and basically almost all that money is probably just gonna go into this place that I'm buying. But even price aside, it's not really my reasons for not spending. Has nothing to do with that. That's not a factor in my reasons for not spending. I don't know. I feel a certain way, I think a certain way, and I know, like, logistically speaking or objectively speaking, there's ways to like try to like mitigate the growing issues that I have with myself, but I think my problem is that I don't care enough. I don't care enough about myself to ever warrant getting that sort of help that I would need. So I just rely on like I've said before, I rely on things to distract me from those issues rather than do anything to help like address it or solve it or something like that. So once those distractions are gone, I'm just like, uh-oh, now I'm left with my thoughts. And that's no fun. You become outright destructive? Are all nihilists truly destructive? Or you probably don't mean like physically destructive. You mean like there's more to it than just being physically destructive. Bitches ain't loyal. Trying to figure out how to make this girl look like she's not staring into space. It looks like she's like smiling at fucking nothing. But I mean, there's something to smile about, I guess, but... You know what has made me smile recently, though? Brussels sprouts. I'm really gonna make more of an effort to introduce Brussels sprouts into my diet, because I really like them when they're like roasted. Such a fun vegetable to eat. It's a fun vegetable to eat when it's crisp. Anyway. I'm a little afraid of eating it if it's, I'm afraid of eating it, like, steamed or cooked in any other method that's not roasted. Personally not a fan. That's okay. Brussels sprouts is one of those things that I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't like it. There's a specific acquired taste to it that almost like borders on being like bitter. But man, when you get those leaves crisp, burnt, almost tasty stuff. A fun vegetable to eat. Usually boiled. I feel like I feel like boiled wouldn't be a good way to eat Brussels sprouts. The way I do it is like I throw them in the oven and roast them or bake them, I guess, whatever. Toss it in oil, salt, pepper, whatever seasonings. You crisp them up. I also cut them into smaller wedges because most of the time people just cut them in half. But for me to have like the optimal like crisp to the entirety of it, I cut them into like smaller wedges and try to flatten it so the inner parts are also not like they also have a chance to like crisp up or something like that. I just like them crispy. Cauliflower is pretty good too. I haven't had cauliflower. I don't have cauliflower that much, but the times that I've had them, they're pretty good. Vegetables in general are just a fun way to eat things. A fun way to eat things. I mean, they're just fun. They're just nice to eat when they're made in a way. Is she normal looking? Damn, bitch, look normal. Is that normal? What else is there to yap about? I've got a couple of games that I need to play. Probably won't. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming them, since my willingness to stream hasn't been very strong. Just because these past few days have just been like deal with work and then just sit and do nothing or say nothing. I've been watching more H-Bomber Guy, or I've restarted watching his stuff while I'm busy with work, and I finally decided to also sub to him on Patreon so I can get more access to videos that he has. I think that he's gonna be releasing a video at some point soon-ish. He posted like a short, I think he posted like a chunk of it on his Patreon. I'm not watching it. I'm just gonna wait until it's fully out to watch it. But I think it's a video that's like shit talking about like Adobe or something. So that'll be fun. Oh, speaking of like corporations that suck. There was a big like hubbub. Not a big hubbub. It just showed up on my Twitter feed about how apparently Disney announced that they're gonna start using generative AI to post like for shorts content and stuff like that. And people definitely reacted to that very well. Or at least like the people's opinions that I would moderately even care about reacted to it obviously terribly. But it's crazy to have like a institution that was brought up by like art to just throw their hands into the generative AI stuff. Massive disappointment. It's not that I feel pressure to stream. There's not like a specific reason. There's not like an external pressure for me to stream. If I don't want to stream, if I really don't want to stream, then I just simply won't. But sometimes the streams is also a way to help me to like vent about certain thoughts and to also help me to be productive in ways that I wouldn't do if I weren't streaming. Like right now, I probably wouldn't be drawing if I weren't streaming. I'd probably be playing the next game and fixating on that. Or sitting around just watching a bunch of videos and not doing anything at all. Which feels unproductive to me. And it would be a better use, there'd be a better use of my time. I know no one's forcing me at gunpoint to stream. I just do it in some ways just because it's something for me to do, and also it serves as a good distraction for me, aside from also being able to vent, but also it's just like, in general, I don't want to like, fully be like, go radio silent, you know? Especially since I'm not like doing anything that's like, it's not like because I'm busy. If I were busy, then yeah, I definitely wouldn't show up, but if I'm gonna be in front of my computer anyway, and I feel like that I want to do something, then I'll just do it. But at the same time, I will also complain if I feel like sometimes I'm not in the right mind space to have like an entertaining stream or have a stream that's very like productive outside of like being able to draw something, you know? I'll say whatever I want. I'll do whatever I want. I'll cry whenever I want. Help these cheer you up as an outlet. Because there have been times where I've done these and I've like, you know, I've had good times. I jive. I have a good jive sometimes. I have a good jive, you know. Sometimes just yapping and just having like certain like just having anybody like to bounce off of or to like being forced to just focus on doing a thing, like in this case drawing, can help to produce something that will come out that'll be better than what would have shown up if I didn't do it via stream. If that makes sense. I live a very like dormant hermit's life where I don't really socialize all that much. Mostly by choice. And this also like mostly due to the fact that as an introvert, I'm not going to go out of my way to meet people to socialize unless invited or there's a special occasion. Like, I'm really not the type to like invite people out to things. And when I do, it'll be for like, you know, catching up with friends that I haven't talked to in a while, or wanting to try out certain foods. Or most recent case was, it was my friend's birthday. So the day before, we scheduled a time to eat a hot pot together, and then invited some other friends. We had a good time. The food was actually kind of meh, but we just had a good time just like talking, socializing with people. Getting caught up on their lives and what they've been up to and all that stuff. Ended up being nice. Got an invite to a Friendsgiving. Oh my god, I have to... See, I have a friend. She's like... How do I say this? She's really cool. She's very independent. She's like a year older. And she's also the type that really likes to like follow like certain trends and stuff. So she saw a video on TikTok or something. Or Facebook or Instagram, I don't know, wherever, some internet thing. For her Friendsgiving that she's hosting, she wants people to bring food that represents their personality. So like an example that her video a video that she sent me is like people brought like, oh, I brought spicy fried chicken because I'm hot and I'm tasty or something like that, or like that kind of like thing. So she wants us to bring food based on your personality, and in my head I'm like, I don't even know how to describe my personality. I don't really know what my personality is. I imagine I have one. I've been told that I have one. I just don't really know what it is. And much less I don't know what food would represent me. I kept thinking like, well, I would probably bring like rice porridge for being like boring or something. But that's a stupid thing to bring to a Friendsgiving. Like, I don't know, like on the outside, how would you describe my personality based on what you know from what I put out on the internet? Do I have a personality? How do you describe personalities? I'm self-deprecating. I'm blunt. Should I just bring like a hammer? For Friendsgiving, I've decided to bring a hammer for my dish because I'm blunt and I'm also metallic tasting. Like, what would that? I don't know. I have to figure out. I have to ask someone. I need help with that. I'm not good when it comes to thinking outside the box like that. My tism doesn't allow for that sort of like innovative thinking or imaginative thinking. Speaking of which, this is like a debatable thing, and then also in some cases it probably isn't true, but on Reddit, there was like a post, like a joke, like a meme post or whatever about like someone saying like, oh, what was it? It's basically said something along the lines of like, oh, this person never goes out or does anything with her friends, and then she says it's because like she doesn't get invited to things, and that I need a direct invitation like a vampire would or something like that. And then like people in the comments were talking about how apparently that's like potentially an autism thing, that unless you get a direct invitation to something, even if people are talking about like a planned thing in front of you, you're not gonna assume that you're going, which is definitely depends on the situation, right? There's definitely been instances where people have made plans in front of you that would not involve you. They're just letting you know that there's things that they're planning, and that they probably they're not gonna assume that you're gonna go. I feel like, right? Because I've definitely my friends usually sometimes talk about things that they're planning on going to or doing that definitely I'm not invited to, or they know that it's not something that I would, well, it's more like they have plans and ideas that they have clearly talked in depth about that there's no way that they expect me to like ever go to. And I know it's them just talking about what they're doing, and I'm just like, oh cool, have fun kind of thing. Like, I would never be like, oh cool, I'll go too kind of thing. Maybe they would probably be like accommodating if I did say I was gonna go, but there have been times where they've talked about like, oh, they're gonna go fly to the West Coast to go see a show or to do a thing or something like that. To say that I would drop things to go kind of thing without being in the plans at the start, it's kind of like, that's a bit presumptuous, right? It's so hard to draw with the freaking mic in the way. But it's like, I was gonna say, but then like in some cases there might be instances where things are being planned, and yeah, maybe in the way that if they say it in a way, then maybe there is an assumption that there'll be an assumption that you would be along for the ride too. But I feel like that's just too presumptuous to assume that you would be invited to something just because they're talking about the plans in front of you. I used to always ask people out, and once I stopped, only a fifth of the people came to ask me back. Right? I feel like it's the people who like are probably like have like friends that want to hang out with them, or like very social, or like you're fun to hang out with together, or some whatever factors, right? You wouldn't assume that you're invited to something until you're actually invited to it. Even if it's a very casual, like, oh, we're all going to this spot, like, come with us kind of thing. Or like, oh, we're all going to the spot, like, what time do you want us to pick you up kind of thing. Like, there's casual ways to do it, but for some reason the people on that Reddit thread were like making it seem like it was an autistic thing to wait for an invitation. That you have to wait for an invitation to be invited to something. But it's like, isn't that just like a common courtesy thing? There was a discussion, right? There was a debate being like, it's not an autistic thing. It's just that, you know, it depends on the context, it depends on the people. And if you're someone that always assumes that you're invited to everything, you might just be inconveniencing the people that are talking about these plans. Although, admittedly, if you're talking about plans and you're not expecting the person that you're talking in front of to go, then you probably shouldn't be talking about it. But like, for me, sometimes I'll ask, be like, oh, what are you guys planning? And then they tell me the plans. I ask with the intention of just knowing what it is. I don't ask with the intention that I will assume. I don't ask with the expectations of being invited to said plan. This happened actually a few months ago when I went to the beach with friends. They were talking about something. They were talking about like bringing like food or like what activities they're gonna have. There was going to be like a barbecue. They were gonna have a barbecue at a friend's house or whatever, and it's a friend that I'm friends with and everything. And it sounds like it was gonna be like a big thing kind of thing. And I just asked like, oh, are you guys like planning a thing together kind of thing? I asked just out of curiosity. I didn't really like, you know, I didn't care outside of just wanting to know what it was that they were talking about. And then the person whose house was hosting the barbecue was like, oh yeah, it's a little barbecue thing that we're having. It's a very casual thing. And then she like, oh, like, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Knowing like damn well that this is something that's been in the works for a while, because they were totally talking about plans and stuff, and it was happening the next day. And I was like, no. I was like, no, that's okay. I don't need to. I'm not going. It's like, you guys clearly have it all planned out. It's like, fine. I don't need to go. And she's like, no, come. Kind of like it's kind of like a bummer to like be invited to something like as like a afterthought, you know, because this has already been planned out. It's like people who you're expecting to go is already gonna go. They already know about it. Logistics have been planned and everything, and then the person who you don't interact with like frequently is asking like, oh, what are you up to? And then you tell them, it's like, oh, like you should come, like kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot you exist, you should come too and have fun with us or whatever. Like you're someone that we like as a friend, but you're also not like our first priority or like our second or third priority or like whatever. And it's like, no, I'm okay. And I feel bad, like the person that was hosting the party, like I don't like she's not a bad person at all. She's actually a very, very nice, considerate person. And I know that when she said for me to go and all that stuff, like I know she genuinely means it. But in my head I was like, no, I'm good. Like you guys clearly have like a get together and you guys are gonna do it. I'm not gonna intrude. Like I know my place. Like it's okay. I was like, I'm good. You guys can have fun. You guys will have more fun without having to worry about me. So it's all good. Also, I also like just didn't want to socialize that much anyway, because I was already socializing a lot at that beach get together because there was a lot of people there as is. So I was fine. I just wanted to know what they were talking about. I sometimes I just want to be in the know, but I don't need to be like, I don't need an invite. But that's what happens when you like, when you have like friends that are definitely closer with each other than with you. You just end up having like plans for like these like events, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. I hope you guys have fun. Take it easy. Don't drink too much. Just let me know any juicy deets. It's good. Like there were times where I forced myself to be in social situations when I did get an invite, just because like, you know, I know that I need to be like socializing and stuff like that. I don't want there to get to a point where like I don't get invited at all to anything because they assume that I don't want to go. Like I'll usually make the concerted effort to be a part of things, even if it means that like I socially put myself in a position where I'm like kind of like it's outside my comfort zone, because my comfort zone is just holding myself up in a wall. But kind of like they've my friends that I went to Hop Pot with, they were talking about apparently planning a girls trip to they're gonna go visit some Asian countries next year, and they invited me for that. And I was like, you know, if financially I'm okay, and if I'm in a position where I can, I'd love to go, kind of thing. Because clearly it's not happening like the next day, and you know, they went out of the way to actually invite me to go. I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. So hopefully I'll have the money and I'll be able to go, and this place that I'm buying doesn't fucking cripple me financially. I really do like hanging out with my friends. It's just that they like hanging out with each other much more. They're a more closer knit group, which is like 100% fine. I can't match some of their energy sometimes, because they sometimes go to like things that I just simply would never think to do. And they also like, you know, it costs money. It costs like PTO days that I can't use sometimes. But I do like hanging out with them. I like hanging out with all my friends. If I didn't like hanging out with them, they'd probably not my friends. But it's hard. It's hard because they're obviously, the thing with me too is that like, you know, I know that I have to occasionally socialize with people. So I'll make plans, or I'll be like a part of plans and go socialize. But I don't want there to be an expectation that I'll be there all the time for any time they do anything. I'm like a person that like will stop by once in a while to be like catch up on things. But sometimes if you're hanging out like every other day or hanging out like every week, and it's like, that's a bit too much for me. I need my alone time. I need my quiet time. I woke up this morning. I wake up like at like 6 or 7 every day. And it's like, first of all, it's really exhausting because like ideally if there's nothing planned for me the next day, I would like to be able to sleep in and just like sleep a little bit more. I guess my body technically doesn't need it because I'm like alert just fine. But when I woke up this morning, I woke up to the sound of nothing. There was no sounds happening outside. There was no sounds happening like in my room. It was literally just the sound of just like air just existing within my space. I was like, this is like so peaceful. But then my heater turned on and it started clanking around, and now there's construction work happening outside. It's kind of like, all right, there's not another sound. That means like life has to start. The day has to start. But being in bed and just hearing like absolutely nothing happening is it's just like so surreal to be just in like silence. It's so nice. But yeah, I'm gonna be pretty picky when it comes to like when it's time for me to socialize, when it's time for me to do things. And people shouldn't have to like just to my personal schedule to figure out when it's a good time for me to hang out and stuff like that. So, you know, they vibe on their own schedule and I vibe when I can. As long as you like, you know, invite me to like the big occasions like the Friendsgiving and like birthday parties and stuff like that, then I'm fine. I'm bobbing. I'll do it. I'm glad I'm in a position where I can. Or I'm glad I'm in a position where like I have people that will want to socialize with me. Cause I know there's some people out there that just don't have like that aren't able to make friends. Or just don't have like friends that are they're close with that will want to make plans with you. The song is giving me Animal Crossing vibes. Oh, Animal Crossing. So I think the next game that I'm gonna be playing, not on stream, probably just on my own, it's either going to be Hollow Knight, which I went and bit the bullet and bought. I'm gonna see if I can get into that kind of game. Or there's a game that I wishlisted that I've never played before. It's a sequel to a game. It's called Tiny Lands or something like that. I think it's like a hidden object game. That like, I'm sure like it's not gonna be like a very story heavy investing type of game. It's probably just a little fun point and click game. Presumably, I don't know. That I need to play. Chris gifted me Balaltro the other day, but I think I jokingly said that I won't play that until Christmas time. So now that I had joked about that, I will probably wait until Christmas time to give that a shot. And then I still have Power Wash Simulator 2 that I need to do or play at some point. And then I have another simulator game that I need to play that I'll eventually do. It's like it's the Onigiri one. Onigiri Shop Simulator, which I know about because I watched Korone play it like a few weeks ago. Although I kind of want to wait to see if there's any more updates to it so they could add like more things, because I'm afraid I'll want to play it and there's not going to be much to do before I fully grow tired of it. They've changed Kappa. The funny thing is I'm looking at the chat via OBS, and OBS still has the regular Kappa. So in my eyes, it looks like you're complaining about a Kappa that hasn't changed. It still looks like Kappa on my Twitch stream too, so I'm not sure what the new one is that you're referring to. I don't see it. But I'm the type that doesn't really like emotes are hard for me to care. It was normal like an hour ago. Like I said, I don't see a new Kappa, so maybe it's a temporary thing. I don't know, or it hasn't been like rolled out to everybody yet. It's hard for me to like really care too much about emotes and all that stuff because they're so small. But I also am not the type that chat on Twitch. I also don't really come on Twitch to like watch all that often because I still have like this stuttering issue with Twitch. And every time it's like, you know, oh, update your drivers, update your drivers. Like, why do I have to update my drivers like every freaking like other day for Twitch to like work? And even sometimes it still doesn't work. I still get stuttering with Twitch, so I'm like, okay, I give up. I'm not gonna watch Twitch anymore. Not that I watched much to begin with. Recently, I don't think there's been anything on Twitch recently that I've been watching. I had like a drawing stream open once for a little bit. But I don't really tune into Twitch streams anymore. Which is good for me since, like I said, it's constantly it does a lot of stuttering and buffering for me, so it would be annoying if I was glued to Twitch. I wonder if I have the energy to fill in all of these rough drafts of faces before ending the stream. I might be here for a while. Excuse me. I was just saying that that's gonna see how if I'll have the energy to fill out all the faces that I drew on this canvas before I end the stream, which might make the stream longer than my usual 1 to 2 hour streams. But I guess it depends on how long I stay on a person. This month's art dump is gonna be a little bit different than my usual. I don't remember when. I think since the start of this month, what I've been drawing on just like one. I was drawing on one giant canvas. Kind of similar to what I'm doing right now. So at the very least, whenever I do my art dump, it's not gonna be like a bunch of drawings or a bunch of like separate drawings. It's all gonna be on one giant canvas. Those game suggestions sound fine. Oh, I wasn't suggesting those games. I was just gonna play those on my own. They weren't suggestions. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be playing any games on here aside from Phoenix or Ace Attorney or whatever. So I was still working on that, which presumably the next stream will be that if I care to. Or maybe I won't. Who knows? Maybe the next time I'll stream, I'll finally have moved somewhere. God, wouldn't that be the super swell and not like a nerve-wracking to deal with. I can't wait to sign my soul to the bank devil. Yeah, it's a lot of templates to fill, but if they look, you know, if they look decent, then hey, it'll fill my quota of drawings, since I haven't drawn at all the last 2 weeks, except for a little bit yesterday. I actually had a brief thought of potentially doing my stream today with Passepartout 2, because I had that game reinstalled to get all those like clips that I've been spamming as shorts, and I considered getting back into that game to draw some other art stuff, because I really like I like being restricted to those tools and those that canvas to draw stuff, but you know, lack of motivation. Lack of motivation to commit to something, so I didn't. I haven't done it yet. Maybe someday I'll do it, if I care to. What else has been going on? What else has been going on in life? Life is so sad and so sad. Why does this music sound so familiar? It's not quite... Reminds you a little bit of Professor Layton, which... oh my god. Professor Layton! I haven't thought about that man in years. There's supposed to be a new game for Professor Layton that was supposed to come out. But I haven't heard anything since it was first announced. Even if they use AI stuff in it. It's a losing battle. I need to PP. I need to PT. I need to PP to pee. It doesn't a little bit like Mario Party 2. And also a little bit of House Moving Castle, but more Mario Party 2. Man, I miss playing video games. I miss playing video games on a controller. I guess the last game I played that was on a controller was Henry Halfhead. That was such a cute little game.
Your father knows about saving money. Everything
An
I'm
ad?
wearing, I've had since boot camp.
And I just saved on my car insurance for driving safe with USAA.
Auto insurance that flexes with you.
Fit to fit.
That's what we're made for.
Well, that was embarrassing. I looked at it this morning too. I was looking at the YouTube premium prices. And I was contemplating getting it. I saw that a yearly subscription to it is like $114 or $140? I told myself I was gonna wait until I see what my monthly spends were like once I get my place, to see if I can afford to, or to see if I'd be comfortable with spending that money. But given how I spent almost all my entire waking hours on YouTube, I feel like I should probably, my life would probably be a little bit easier, and it would run a little bit more smoother to have YouTube Premium. Because ad blockers, with an ad blocker, it's not, my browser doesn't seem to run very like smoothly or as quick as it could. Steam controller, Steam Deck. Yeah, that sounds like a big deal. As someone who has absolutely zero interest in getting any of that stuff, I'm sure you Steam kids are excited about that. I'm gonna go pee. Pee time. I'll be right back. I'm back. I forgot that I had Reese's Oreos. Now I should eat them. Because I have 2 boxes of them. Speaking of Oreos, some of the videos that H Bomber Guy has on his Patreon is him like trying out a bunch of like Oreo products. Not necessarily like Oreo, like different flavored Oreos, but like Oreo like branded like goods. Like there's some Oreo wafer rolls, some Oreo cheesecake, Oreo cakesters or something or other, whatever. And him and his producer were talking about how, like, for them, the best part of the Oreo is the cream. Or, specifically, he calls it goo. Which is a terrible word for it, but... they say that their favorite part is the cream, and that no one cares about the outer, like, cookie parts. Or he calls them biscuits or whatever. But I'm like, my favorite part of the Oreo is the cookie part. I don't... Well, I technically... The Oreos that I'm eating don't have the cream, the white cream. This is peanut butter, but I feel like my favorite parts of the cookies because they're the cocoa cookies. Like they're not like, you know, just sugar. So I wonder if you were to do a poll, how much to see. I wonder like what the percentages of people who like the cream over the cookie part. But I guess that's why they make like double stuffed Oreos, right? Because there's people that obviously care about the cream more than the cookie part. Does it give any hints when a new video is coming up? I don't know when it's coming out publicly. He put out like I think either a draft or the first like hour and a half of whatever his new video is on Patreon. But as I said, I haven't watched it. I assume it'll come out eventually. I want to watch his plagiarism. I had his plagiarism video playing while I was working and stuff like that. That video has amassed like almost 40 million views. It's crazy because imagine having 40 million views on a video that's 4.5 hours long. The ad revenue on that is fucking crazy. And in his Patreon post, I won't get into the details, but he does mention about like having to meet with his producer to talk about how to split the revenue, because he said in that video that he was going to be giving away the money, the ad money from that video to the creators that were plagiarized and stuff that they could find, which is interesting. But I was like, that sounds like a crazy amount of work. The thing is though, I think like, so some of the people that he talked about that were plagiarizing, that were caught plagiarizing, and I know that James Somerton had like gone on and off with like different identities and like was called out multiple times. I don't know what he's been up to now. I think the last thing I remember hearing was that he had attempted to like kill himself or something like that. And if someone who was with him or whatever says that he's fine or whatever, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that since. But like, I didn't look into it, but I assume that some of the people that he had called out are still like doing fine. I think I remember like the internet historian was still like making videos and was probably doing fine. Or as fine as one does. All that to say is that when you get called out by people, it's really just a matter of your own like personal like your own personal mental fortitude of whether or not you can outlive being canceled and still make a living on the internet. In the sense that like if you let yourself get canceled and you run away from the internet, then like, you know, wait, no, I worded that poorly. There's people on here that are strong enough to get over the fact that they're getting canceled and continue living their lives on the internet and still getting money from people who also don't care. Like how, like, oh my god, I'm wording everything so poorly because I'm so focused on getting this Oreo shit out of my mouth. It's like cream stuck in my... All that to say, people who get canceled only let themselves get canceled when they're weak mind. There are people who shamelessly get called out for things that they've done wrong and they still exist on the internet. uncaring that they've been called out for things, is what I meant to say. I don't know what's the point of me saying that. It's just a thing that I said, I guess. You don't come here for good takes, you come here for poorly articulated takes. It's hard to evaluate when someone deserves a total destruction. So like it's also like really highly dependent on how sorry they actually are when they're called out for it. But it also doesn't really matter, like I said. Some people just will shamelessly just continue doing whatever it is they do on the internet to continue working their job to get paid for being an online creator, regardless of how people feel about them. How many sleeveless shirts do you own? I own a couple of tank tops. I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, quantifiably tell you how much, but I own like at least 3. It gets hot here in the summer. Sometimes I need a tank top to like sleep in or go out in if I'm gonna go out on like a long walk and it gets hot or whatever. I'd prefer not to wear them though, just cause your girl got fat arms. And because arms are one of the harder things to work out because it's not something you can do very like passively. You can't really multitask if you want to work out your arms, because I'm someone that like it's easier for me to work out my legs, for instance, like with cardio and stuff, because I can like go out on walks or like I still have my hands free to do things, but with the arms I feel like it gets boring to try to work them out, so that's why my arms are like Fat blobs. Any more comfortable? Like wearing tank tops? Or having fat arms? I want to just harness this newfound nihilism and just wear the shirt for your own comfort. I do. I do when I need to. I do when it gets hot enough. But now's not the time to be thinking about heat when it's cold. Thankfully, the coldness that's been, the cold weather here has been like cold enough for hoodie. It's kind of like on the border. It's not like on the brink of like needing a jacket. But I've been very stubborn and I just keep wearing my hoodie because I really don't feel like wearing my jacket. I just like being in hoodie weather because I love wearing hoodies because those are so comfortable to wear. But then when the jacket has to come out, it's like, ugh. I feel so suffocating when I wear a jacket. Also, I packed away my what I wear for like winter. My winter jacket. I packed it away somewhere. I don't feel like bringing it out because I've packed the majority of my things thinking that I would have moved out like 5 years ago at this point. It's an exaggeration, but oh no! You popped out some mint candies. Poured out too much. I guess they're not really mint candies. They're called Mintias, but they don't really do a whole lot for my mouth. I'm gonna eat them anyway. They almost sound like Tic Tacs. Mintia. Yeah, it's like a Japanese brand. Basic mints. The one that I have is Calpico flavor. Calpis. 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 Before someone tries to think I said Calpi. It's Calpis flavor, which is like it's like a yogurt soda thing that's like popular in Japan. It's cute because there's some of them that are, there's some that have like a specific like shape, not shape, but like there's like a pattern embossed on it. So some of the tablets have like little smiley faces or like a thumbs up or whatever. And the tablets look a lot like my antidepressants. So when I popped one out and one of them had like a little smiley face on it, I was like, man, why don't my antidepressants have smiley faces on them? It wouldn't change anything, but it'd be a fun little medication thing for antidepressants. Do you actually feel how antidepressants affect you? I did in the beginning, when I first started taking them. When I first started taking them, there definitely was like a pep in my step in that I was actually like going out and like doing things and socializing and all that stuff and going to like outings. But the problem was that it was at the same time as when I left my really like when I left my job that was like I was overworked in. So mentally I was like really already down, or mentally I was already doing better because I left my job. Excuse me. I did feel better at the time. Now it's kind of like, who knows? It's also interesting. Well, this is only interesting to me, but when I first got them, I saw that they were only 10 milligrams or whatever. And I saw that compared to like my my iron supplements that I take, the iron supplements is like 320 milligrams. So I was like, oh, this 10 milligram of like antidepressants is like really low, like a really mild like dosage or whatever. I was like, that ain't too bad. But then I semi recently saw, it was on Reddit because I spent a lot of time on Reddit reading. Apparently with antidepressants, they usually go, I don't think they exceed like 20 or 25 milligrams. So what I thought was a low dosage for antidepressants was actually like a really run-of-the-mill amount of dosage. Like it's not something that exceeds like 300 milligrams like my iron supplement does. So I was like, oh. Not that it matters, but I thought it was interesting. I wish I could just stop taking them, to be honest. I'm like, I hate being being dependent on pills, but you can't just cut antidepressants out of your life. You can't go cold turkey on them. I mean, you could, but it probably wouldn't do good for you. So like the little sheeple that I am, I still take them. Sounds like they almost don't work. I imagine the idea is that you should be taking them alongside like getting therapy and like just doing things to better your life and all that stuff. And when I was first taking them, like I was like doing better and I was making like, you know, as good as a choice as one can make when they're unemployed. Because at the time, like I said, I quit my job, but now I don't know. Now it's hard to say if they're doing much for me because like I'm sure like when you're taking antidepressants, you can still get sad, right? You can still be depressed. They just help to like, actually I don't really know what antidepressants do. They probably like give you that specific sort of like hormone or whatever. They release something in you. Serotonin? Is that what you call it? The stuff that makes you happy. Like I'm sure it still does it, but if you're counteracting it, if you're not doing anything to help like would you further facilitate that serotonin in your life outside of the medication. Like if you're not enriching your life in other means, like with exercise or like with the socializing or whatever, then it's kind of just like, it's not going to help that much. So I'm sure if I went to my doctor, tell them that it's not working, they would either try to up my dosage or they just tell me to go to therapy. So none of which I want to do. So I don't know. At least the thing with me, from the beginning, like I've always joked about wanting to just like disappear. Or like, if I were to like die, I want it to be like a painless death. I'm like afraid of dying, but I'm not afraid of like death itself, I think that's what I told myself. Because I don't want to be in pain while suffering and like, you know, dying. I want a peaceful death, like in my sleep type of thing. You fear the process, probably. I just don't want the pain. That's how it's always been. But I guess even if you say that, that still might be a suicidal. That still might be suicidal thoughts. So, or you might still have like suicidal thoughts with that kind of thinking. But I mean, I still think that now. So it's not like the antidepressants are like, I mean, I guess the idea is that the antidepressants are supposed to make it so that you don't act on it. But I don't know, I wouldn't know how to act on it without hurting myself. Like if I want to go out permanently, it'll happen all in one go, or I don't feel pain. You know? Because if you like take a knife to a vein or whatever, you know, that one of the commoner ways that people do it, one of the more common ways that people would try to do it on their own, you run the risk of surviving. I don't want to deal with the pain, and I also don't want to deal with the fallout that'll happen if I survived, having to explain to people why I did what I did, having to feel guilt. Like, I don't want to deal with all that mess. Yeah, that's why it's like nice when there's places that offer the assisted suicide? What is it called? Something like that. But it's only for people who are like really old, or those that are, you know, sick to the point where there's no cure and there's no like helping them kind of thing. There's no chance of recovery. Like they don't want people who have any age, of any like mental capacity to be able to have the assisted suicide or whatever. But it's like, if I make the decision and then I end up regretting it, then like, isn't that my cross to bear, you know? Like, why can't I be young and still just want to go? Like, life is important, but it's important for those that deem it important. But for me, I'm not a cog in the wheel of life. I'm just like I'm like the little speck of like dust that's on the floor next to the cogs of wheels that are spinning, you know? Like, it's just an insignificant part of life in the world that like it doesn't matter kind of thing, you know? It's like, obviously, objectively, your death is going to impact somebody, right, in your life, but that could be said about all lives. And you know, what you learn is that when you lose someone that you care about in your life, you grieve, you cry, you get mad, you get sad and all that stuff, but then you just like, presumably you just move on in life and you continue living your life with the memory of that person that you loved and lost, and life will just continue going. So like, whenever they make the argument of like, you know, if you kill yourself, then like the people who love you will be really sad and will be very upset. And it's like, yeah, but they're eventually going to move on. They'll eventually like move on, hopefully, presumably. And even if, well, this would be really selfish to say, but like, even if they don't move on and they're like struggling with your loss, and it's like, it wouldn't matter to you because you're dead. You're presumably dead and gone. Maybe if you end up like, when you end up dying, you become a ghost and you can watch everyone around you, like, you see them suffering, maybe then you'll feel the regret, but by then you're already gone. So it's like, it's not like people can hear the ghost watching you, or witness the ghost like surveilling you. It's expensive to the government to process a corpse in both bureaucratic and physical disposal sense. Man, just throw me to the fishes. Throw me to the fishes, feed me to the rats. I literally, like, for me, I like literally don't care what you do with my body after I'm dead. You can have your way with me for all I care, because I'd presumably be dead. If death really is just the end of it all and nothing, and I just cease to exist, like even in like if there's a spiritual afterlife or all that stuff, and I just don't exist anymore, like I really don't give a shit. I signed myself up to be an organ donor so that like if you end up needing, if my organs end up being of some help to somebody that does want to live, you know, then awesome. But if my body proves to be of complete uselessness to science in the medical field, then just like dispose of me as you will. Just like, I don't know, put my body out in the desert and just let me rot. Let the vultures eat me, so that the vultures can be fed or something like that. I literally don't care. Why should, like, if life ends, you know, in death, and you presumably just like are like, your soul presumably is like busy doing whatever it is souls do, right? And your body is just left behind. Like, why should it matter what happens to your body? Like, I don't understand the importance of like having a person's body and digging it in the earth in a coffin and then having a whole spectacle about it. Like, you can not memorialize. You can mourn the dead. The whole like casket thing and the funerals and all that stuff, like I think that's fine. But like the whole like the business of like renting a spot in like a cemetery and then having to pay every year or pay every decade or something like that in order to keep renting it out, and if you don't pay, then like it gets rented out to somebody else. It's like, what does it matter? Why are you renting a space for a body that can't contribute to anything to the world aside from it just like fertilizing the ground that it won't have access to because it's in a coffin? Like, I don't get it. Crematorium's expensive business. I'm sure it is. You always have to have like a heat on, like a really high heat on, and you have to like deal with the disposal, and you have to do like, you still have to do things with the body before you can even like cremate them and all that stuff. I'm sure Ask a Mortician has gone into depth about it, and I watched all of her videos plenty of times, but I don't remember it. Dumping a course on some owned land. That's the whole thing too. People owning land. Oh my god. Well, no one owns a desert, right? Just throw me into a desert. No one owns an ocean, right? Just throw me into the ocean. You pollute the ocean with all your trash, and that stuff doesn't disintegrate, but a body will eventually decompose, and then you'll feed the fishes and all the ocean life. Like, can't I just do that? Like, at least that my body will be of some use to somebody if you throw me in the ocean. Just like throw me in the ocean naked. That way the clothes don't get in there. Ask a Mortician's videos. The one that she did about the, was it the S.S. Fitzgerald? It was like something that's like something similar to like the Titanic, but not as popularized. That was a good video. I think it was called the S.S. Fitzgerald. I don't remember. She had a lot of good videos, a lot of fun things to watch. Presuming they can find the corpse. Oh, like if they throw it in the ocean? I don't know. I don't care. Once it's out of my hands, I don't give a shit. You have to care about yourself to a certain degree for you to like be focused on, to be like concerned about like, you know, the whole like burial process of like, don't cremate my body. I want to be buried in a casket of my belongings and blah blah blah. Like, you have to have some level of self-importance for you to ever facilitate that thing, kind of like how the Egyptian pharaohs did with their tombs, their giant pyramid tombs and all the fucking golden sarcophaguses and all that shit. Like, you really have to care. You have to care about yourself a lot for you to ever invoke that sort of thing. Like, that's a lot of hassle. That's a lot of work. But also, there were pharaohs, so yeah, that's a fucking different story. And back then, there wasn't nearly as much people to be concerned with burying, so I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm still too early in my life to care about that kind of thing. Deliver us. Deliver us. Deliver us to the promised land. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Hang on. Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. Sorry if my lack of input is demoralizing. It's just a lot of words. I don't remember what I was talking about. I was too focused on drawing, and I was also too focused on the pain in my hands. Not bad. No. It's I was just like focused on other things. I let myself get distracted. My hands. Unfortunately, the stuff that I've been busy with work involves like a little bit of manual labor, and it's doing a dent in my hands and stuff, so it hurts. But whatever. It's not what I signed up for, but it is what I'm doing. I really so desperately wish that with all the energy that I have when it comes to just doodling stuff, if I can muster some energy to put out some form of a rough like drafted like comic in the next year or something like that. I'm so tired of like having thoughts. I'm tired of having thoughts and then not doing anything with them in terms of like comics, like comic ideas. I want to be proud of something. I want to be proud of myself for something. The thing is, I don't want to start something and then not finish it. If I'm gonna start, like, say, like a comic, I want to be sure that I actually finish it to the end of where I want it to end. That's why I'm so unwilling to start anything. Because the few times that I have started something and not finished it, it's been like... it's been sad. And sometimes you just don't have the motivation or the energy to continue going through with it. Or continuing on. Would it be too much or good amount of pressure to do it on the stream? I wouldn't do it on the stream because I don't want people seeing it in progress. I'm one of those people that wants to keep works like that a surprise up until like it's ready to be posted on the internet. I don't want anyone to see it. Not even if it's a whip. For what it's worth, I'm not looking for like any suggestions. Ow, my toe. I'm not looking for particularly any suggestions or solutions to my problem. It's just more so I'm just saying stuff out loud kind of thing. If it's something that I really ever get the energy to do, I'm just simply going to do it, and I don't know if any outside forces can help to mitigate that. I don't even think like money would help me to muster up the energy to do it. Yeah, I know, and I appreciate it. It's just sometimes you just say stuff without really wanting any sort of suggestions or solutions. You know, sometimes people will rant about things and just need someone to need to rant it out, just vent it out without expecting any sort of solutions to the problem. This playlist has been nice. This is a YouTube channel. Well, per the music credits in the bottom, it's a channel called Stream Cafe, and they just have an hour-long video of presumably royalty-free, copyright-free music. Presumably, but we'll see about that when this VOD ends, or this stream ends, if I get copyright struck or not. Because apparently videos that are titled copyright free end up, some people were complaining in the comments saying that I got copyright struck for it, so we'll see. This is what I get for using music that doesn't belong to me. I do not think there's any music related to boba specifically. I think it's probably just some cutesy music that would make you think of having a date with someone while drinking some boba. Or maybe it's similar to I pushed my hand too hard. Maybe it's similar to that one soda song from K-pop Demon Hunter that I haven't watched. A friend of mine on Halloween has shared pictures of her son dressed up as one of the characters from K-pop Demon Hunter, one of the guys. It was very surprising to me because it's a character that had like this bright pink hair and like a yellow sweater, and it was very different from how I've seen her kid, because her kid is like a very shy introvert like young lad. So seeing him dressed up in this these bright vibrant colors, I was like, oh my god, look at him. He's getting out of his shell. The K-pop Demon Hunter. Let's grab this kid by the neck. That's cool though. It's interesting that it always seems to be like a Korean, not always, just seems to be common that it's like a Korean media that ends up like taking the world by storm, or at least taking the Western world by storm once it hits theaters and stuff, like how it did like Squid Games, Parasite, Bitis, K-pop Demon Hunter. I think you talked about this kid earlier? I don't know. I don't remember. I literally don't remember the last time I streamed or what I did, so this happened on Halloween, so if I talked about it after Halloween, then maybe. I don't remember anything that I say on these streams. I think Korean movies have had pretty decent reputation. Yeah, I don't know. Oops. I really don't like partake in any media stuff, especially now more than ever, so I don't know anything. I know butt fuck nothing. Maybe you should. Look, there's plenty of things in my life that I've been told that I should do, and what it has netted me with is a home and going into thousands of dollars in debt for it that I don't even want, and also depression. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that I should do and that sometimes I do. It's always a should, but it's never the do what you want, fam. So that's a joke. I know my life would probably be enriched and I would have more to talk about if I ever did watch things. I just don't have the patience to sit around and do nothing and watch things. I don't have the patience to sit around and do nothing and watch things intently with the intention of fully watching it and not doing something else. I think I'd be more likely to sit down and watch something if like I had someone to do it with, like say like a partner, for instance, kind of thing, right? Because I know that's what couples do. Couples sit around and watch things when like they have nothing going on. Like they'll catch up on a show or like a movie that they've never seen before. It's something you can do as a couple thing. It's kind of like I was talking to another friend of mine like a few weeks ago. We went out to eat we went to try out like a Korean barbecue at a place or something nearby. And we were talking about like specific places in like New York. And I was like explaining to her like, oh, I don't know where this and that is. Oh, I don't know in relation to us like where this and that is. Or, like, oh, I thought this place was that place and blah blah blah. And she was like, how do you not know all this stuff? It's like it's in New York and blah blah blah. Like, have you never been there? And I'm like, no, I've never been there. You go to all these places probably because you're going with like your fiance and all that stuff. I don't have anybody to go anywhere with. That's why I don't go anywhere. As like a joke. I say it's a joke, but it's also kind of like realist, like true, because if you have no one to like make plans with, really, then yeah, you're not gonna fucking go anywhere. Why would I go out of my way to go to a place that I've never been to by myself? Like, that's stupid. Who thinks like that? The only time I've ever done that for myself is when I had that one short stint of watching a bunch of Broadway musicals by myself. I should do that sometimes. I should do that again. Actually, I say that, but I don't really know I don't know what's a musical that's out right now that I would even care to watch. Try to find one. No, I'm good. Like, I miss it, but at the same time, I don't miss. I also. It's nice not having to spend money. It's nice not spending money on things and holding it for myself for when I need to spend it on my home. Okay, at this point, I've watched all I needed to watch on Broadway. I watched Hamilton. I watched Les Miserables. No, I have not watched Les Miserables. That's a lie. I watched what was it again? Phantom of the Opera. Watched Phantom of the Opera. I watched Lion King. I've watched Hadestown twice. I watched The Waitress. I watched Beetlejuice. I'm good. I had my fun. Again, probably one of those things that I would potentially see more of if I had someone to go with, I guess. But again, whatever. I just make excuses for myself. At the very least, I save a lot of money by not going anywhere and just staying at home and being on my computer. So I have that going for me. Why do you keep suggesting for me to do things? I'm good. I don't need the suggestions. Thank you. I don't need them. As I said, as I've already said, sometimes I just say things without looking for solutions or things to mediate it. You don't know what to say? You don't have to say anything. It's okay. You don't have to reply. I can't. You can just hear me. Just hear me say stuff without having to reply. It's okay. I won't be offended if you have nothing to say or if you don't listen at all. It's totally okay. I say things, and if there's something that you have to say as a reply, then, like, you know, go for it. But if you don't have anything to say, you don't have to fill it with, like, suggestions of things, of solutions. It's okay. I don't want you to feel like you have to keep me, what's the word? Keep me occupied. Keep me, what? What's the word? Keep me whatever. Like, it's okay. Would it be bad if you didn't give good suggestions? The thing is, I'm like stubborn enough that I probably just would never take any suggestions, even if it's good. Because it's not like, here's the thing. The stuff that you're saying is all valid suggestions. It's just, I'm never gonna take them. That's the thing. I'm one of those people that, like, when people suggest me things, chances are that they've already crossed my mind that I would do something. I just won't, but the fact that I haven't done it probably just indicates that I'm just not gonna do it. So, especially if it's something as simple as go watch a show or go watch a movie, you know? Admittedly, I have never really thought about doing volunteer work because I did that once and I didn't have a good time, so I would never do it again. I'm also admittedly not charitable enough that I would spend my time volunteering for something at this point in my life. What happened? Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. You'll never really know how it is to volunteer somewhere unless you actually do it and see how it goes. There's probably also like reviews you can find online too if you were really if you're really considering doing it. I'm just not a charitable person enough that I would dedicate time to helping people. Like occasionally if I have the means to, I'll just donate money for it, but in terms of giving time, I don't have the time to give time, if that makes sense. And by that I mean I'm just lazy. There's still 3 things to go. Ay, ay, ay. My hand. I'm really pushing myself with this, but I'm going to do it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be the longest art stream ever. Had worse ones. Worse what? Worse streams? I think I was saying this is gonna be my longest art stream. I don't know if this is necessarily gonna be one of the worst. I think the worst art stream that I've done was probably the last one that I did. Was it the last one? It's the one where I didn't know what to do at all. I had nothing up there. I had nothing to do. All my art streams are inherently worse. Well, they're not worse. They're all inherently bad because they have there's no end goal to any of them other than just getting something on a canvas, even if it's not done. Then again, I don't know what constitutes as a good art stream. Why does it feel like everything is muffled? Because like a good art stream would probably have something like a goal in mind, and also, I guess for the people that would care about it, good bantering or something like that. But as long as I'm getting something on paper, my digital paper. I drew something recently on for a birthday card from last week for a friend of mine, and I had forgotten how hard it was to draw like with a pen and paper. Like, you can make mistakes on there that you can't really erase unless you were like smart and you had like whiteout, but who the hell whites out a fucking greeting card? So when I made a mistake on it, I had to live with it, and I was like, oh no, I have to give this to somebody. I still thought it came out decent, but then when they opened it, they were grateful for the card, but I didn't get the reaction that I expected. So I was like, oh, damn, I fucked up, failed, a failure at giving birthday gifts. I guess I didn't know what to expect. That's okay. It's a thought that counts. I'm so bad when it comes to giving birthday gifts. I feel like I think I always either end up thinking that like I can't think of what to give them, and then the things that I do end up thinking to give them are always things that make sense to me, but it wouldn't be a good gift. I feel like people are able to put a lot of thought into like the gifts that they give and are good like at that kind of thing, but for me, I'm the type of person that like I'd rather just give you a gift card so you can spend the money how you'd want on what you want, instead of me trying to guess what you would want. Because then if I end up buying something that you don't like, then it'd be a waste of money. But people think that gift cards are like a shit gift because you don't put any thought into it. Which isn't true, but I'm just like, I just feel stupid. Marilyn Monroe-chan. You know, for something that's an hour. All of these songs are starting to sound the same to me. But I guess this would have been like 3 loops at this point. But I feel like I've been hearing the same 5, 6 songs. I'm like getting confused. Oh. Someone reminds me of Toy Story. You got a friend in me. I saw on Reddit that they had, apparently there's a poster for like the 5th Toy Story movie or something, which I didn't know that was a thing that was coming out. But I briefly looked into the comments and someone had said something about, they questioned something like, oh, what are they gonna do about Woody? And in my head, I'm like, what? What happened to Woody in the 4th movie? Because I never watched the 4th one, which I think the 4th one is the one that has like the fork or whatever. In my head, Toy Story ended after 3, so I never bothered to watch the ones after it. And I'm like, what do you mean? What are they gonna do about Woody? Did Woody die? Can they die? It's questions that I ask, but I have no interest in finding the answer to. I have no interest in learning about the answers. It's just questions and that I ran in my head, and I was like, I don't care. Like I cared for a second, but I don't care enough to find out. I'd rather stay in the dark about it. You haven't seen 3 or 4? 3 is pretty good. 3 is pretty good. I cried my heart out at 3. And not at the part that everyone cried at. My heart cried at one part that I thought was the end, but it wasn't the end. I still have distinct memories of watching it only because at the time it was like a group hangout kind of thing and everyone wanted to go watch the Minions movie or something. But I think there was like no tickets available or something. Something happened and we weren't all able to go watch it. So some of us went to go watch Toy Story 3 instead. And I cried my aching little heart out. And I remember crying really hard, and then there was like a fake out that happened. And then when it happened, I was like, what was it? I said something. I said something a bit like probably a little bit too loud. I was probably like, oh, son of a, like, oh, you bastards, or like, you jerks, or you bitch, or something like that. I don't remember what it was. I'd feel bad if it was a swear because it's obviously a kid's movie, but I remember saying something out loud and then people were laughing. Because of the fake out or something. And I was like, God damn it. I think I was probably like, oh, you son of a bitch. Don't you see me? I'm well aware that watching cinemas is fun and stuff. I never said it wasn't good. I'm just saying I don't have the patience to sit and watch it. This was like years ago. This was like over like 10 years ago at this point. I've watched plenty of movies in my youth, in the theaters, and at home. It's not that I've never watched it, it's just I don't have the patience to watch it. It has to be the right time for it. The last time I watched a movie in theaters was... I don't remember what the last movie was I watched in theaters. I have literally no recollection. It's probably one of the movies that came out in 3D, like one of the Disney movies that came out in 3D. Make the next head bomber H bomber guy? No, I'm drawing all girls. I don't know how to draw men. I'm getting hungry. Which I guess makes sense. I didn't have lunch. Draw H bomber guy as a girl next? No. That don't count. I guess I'm just gonna have ramen, instant ramen for dinner tonight. I did not think about what to eat for dinner. But I ordered out yesterday already. I ordered out at a place that's known for ramen, but I ordered one of their burgers instead because I didn't feel like having noodles. I ordered burger, I ordered fries, and I ordered a salad thing that I've had before that I really liked. The salad was great. The burger tasted so off. The burger, like the meat itself was fine, the bread was fine. The arugula in it tasted, or like the greens in it was like bitter, I think. But there was something about the sauce that they used. I don't know what sauce it was, but the sauce had something in it that I did not enjoy. So I forced myself to eat it because I didn't want to waste it, but I was like not happy to eat it. And then I had the fries, which was like a mixed potato fries, which just had like Japanese sweet potatoes and stuff like that, and it was really tasty. So everything, all the side stuff was tasty, but the burger itself was bleh. How common are those stairs outside of windows nowadays in New York? You mean fire escapes? Are you asking how common fire escapes are? I guess fire escapes don't exist outside of New York? They are as common as multi-storied buildings are, because I'm pretty sure it's regulation to have fire escapes, because in case of a fire, they need to be there so people can escape too. We don't have that solution there. I was watching, speaking of which, I was watching a video, and I think the person who filmed it intentionally made it look more convoluted than it actually is. But they were living in Paris, I think, and they were showing like a tour of how to get to their apartment, which like, you know, if it was exact directions, then someone could probably easily find where she lives. Anyway, but it involved going through like multiple building doorways, and then like long hallways, and then like 8 flights of stairs, and then she had to turn somewhere to go down another doorway, and then more stairs, and it was like through like really tight corridors and everything, and it was like the craziest way to get into an apartment building that was also like really run down. I'm not sure. I'm sure she made it look more difficult than it was, except for the fact that she had to walk up all the stairs that she did, which even just watching it tired me out, because when you're anemic, you have flat feet, and you are also out of shape, stairs are a person's worst nightmare. But I know in like parts of Europe, if not most, that like a lot of like these places that have like that rent out studios, or like they're like they rent like apartments or whatever, I guess, that I don't know what you would call them. I assume they're apartments, but I know that they're like usually really tight small spaces. And also a lot of places, like older places, don't have elevators and stuff, so you have to like either lift them up outside and then make it go through a window, or you have to climb up stairs with them in like tight staircases and stuff like that. And I was like, ugh, that couldn't be me. Particularly old buildings like that, yeah. The place I'm moving to has an elevator, but it's also a really small elevator, and I'm like thinking, like, if I have to buy furniture, how the fuck is the furniture supposed to fit in an elevator? I'm like, do I gotta use stairs? That doesn't sound convenient. So I'm like, what if I don't buy a couch? Is that okay? If I just buy a home without a couch, that should be fine, right? But that's something I'll have to worry about later. And by later, I mean, presumably if things go well, it's something I'll have to worry about next week. I've never had to buy big furniture before, so I'm like scared. Because my bed is pretty small. It's a twin-size bed from IKEA. It's pretty small, and I don't have a couch to my name. And I don't know what other big furniture things people usually have, besides from a bed and a couch. So logistically, I don't know how all that's gonna fare out. Ugh. Changed my sofa into a recliner in my last place because they only use it alone anyhow. Yeah, that's the thing. I've lived here on my own for like a couple of years now at this point, and I've never felt I never had an interest in getting a couch or anything like that. Because for me, I wake up, I do things in like the kitchen and the bathroom, but then after that, I only live in my room on my computer chair. I've never felt an urge to go sit on a couch or recline in a sofa chair or whatever you call them, a recliner chair. My home is my computer. Everything else is just like the computer stuff, and then like my bed. Like that's home. I felt no need to ever get a sofa or anything like that, or like large furniture, because I knew I would never use it. Last head? Last head? Oh, I really started getting lazy. My elbow. Ew. What is the most apprehensive thought you have about visiting Europe other than I couldn't pay unless it is disproportionately so? I don't think I've had any thoughts about visiting Europe. The only thing I know is that like Paris is not as it's not as picturesque as people make it seem to be. Something about the Paris syndrome or whatever it's called, where it makes it where it looks like it's a good place to visit, but it actually isn't. But aside from that, I don't think I've had any aversions, or I've never had any thoughts about visiting Europe. I did watch a video by Emarichu on YouTube recently, or rewatched it. It's an older video, but she went to the UK or something on a trip with her boyfriend, and she had a lot of problems when she went, evidently, or something. Something about like being unable to like book hotel, or she had a lot of problems with like booking hotel rooms and stuff. Apparently it's like a lot of them are really scammy and like bad. One of them was like falsely advertising its place as like a nice place, but it ended up being like a shithole. So they stayed somewhere else, and then the place that they stayed at, the second place that they stayed at, was apparently their bed was infested with bed bugs or something like that. So her and her boyfriend ended up staying at a friend's house who happened to be there, living in the country or whatever at the time, or visiting or something, whatever. But was there anything else? I think that was the major issues that she had when she went to visit. It's just about like accommodations or something, but I don't know. I'd go there for I would be interested in going just to eat the food. Eat like a proper fish and chips and what do you call them? Sunday roast or whatever. English breakfast, where you have like sausages and like tomatoes and mushrooms or something on the plate. I can't really remember. The only thing I think about is food. Maybe try the notoriously famous beans on toast or something like that, and see what the hubbub is about. I'm surprised to hear that it would be like Europe in general would have issues, or would have like any amount of, not any amount, but it sounds surprising that like for a country that seemingly always has tourists going, especially from here, that they wouldn't have like a more like suitable or like better accommodations for people. But I guess maybe they're tired of American tourists coming. They probably generate a lot of money from tourism, but I wonder if they're able just to fend off, like hold off on their own without tourism to keep them afloat or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense. As opposed to like Asian countries, where like Asian countries probably do a little bit better when it comes to accommodating foreigners, because a lot of places rely on the tourism to make money in. Italy, why did I say Italy like that? Italy has no sour cream and onion chips. Sucks to be them. What chips do they have? Cheese chips? I don't know what Italy's. Oh, Italy. Would they have like pizza chips? I feel like pizza chips, they always sound like they'd be tasty, but every time I've gotten pizza like flavored chips, I feel like they're never tasty. They're never good. They taste like boopy. Boopy? I've said booby because I'm drawing on a boob right now. They taste like poopy. Bland basic chips. I mean, they also might just be the type of country that doesn't really snack on like chips. Why snack on chips when you can just eat bread and like smoke a cigarette or something, you know? I don't know. I have no idea what the culture is like in Italy. I don't know what the culture is like in any European country. I barely even know what Europe is, so. Welcome back, aesthetic coloring girl. For some reason, I didn't remember your name having aesthetic in it, but I guess it must have. I should be close to wrapping up soon because I'm about done with the last head. My hands both hurt from drawing. South America. I don't remember what's in South America. Is Mexico considered South America? I'm really bad when it comes to geography. I don't know anything. I think my friend's husband's supposed to be going to some place in Mexico. I forgot the place that they said. Something with a T, but it's a place that I never heard of. So when they said it, I was like, I don't know what that is. People are so well versed with places to visit for trips and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm the only place that I care to visit is like the deli store to get a sandwich, honestly. Mexico should not be considered North America. It'd be closer to Central America than it is North America, I'd imagine. If it is one or the other. But also, I don't know. I don't know for sure. I could just be wrong. I know where I am. I know that I Mexico is North America, really? I guess the idea is that it's technically right under... I guess I don't know the distance between Central America and North America. Because I think the idea is that Mexico borders on Texas, which is why they always have... this way where, what's his name, tried to build a wall. I don't know if the wall's still there. I think the wall might still be there. I don't know if it ever fully finished, but why do we build the walls? My children. My children. Why do we build the walls? Texas is afraid that Mexico is going to get theirs back. Get what back? Their wall? Mexico owns a huge chunk of Texas? Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. It's hard to care about anything outside of your own, outside of the place that where you live. And even then, it's still hard to care. Done. I shouldn't have started hedging this in. My arms hurt, my hands hurt, I hunger, my eyes hurt from the bright light of my monitor. Everything is falling apart. I want food. I want stability. I want happiness. Could also go for a turkey sandwich. Could also go for a bottle of soju. But the last thing I want to do is crave alcohol. Heaven forbid I become an alcoholic. don't even know if I've ever had gin. I'm sure I've tried it at one point, but alcohol kind of just all ends up feeling the same to me, or tasting the no. Alcohol just seems to be the same to me in my head outside of soju and like beer. I don't really like how alcohol tastes in general, so like it all just tastes like doo-doo to me. And that's why I drink soju, because soju is just fruity. Soju is just sweet, tasty alcohol that you can't really taste. Well, you can taste the alcohol in soju, but it's very much overpowered by the sweetness of whatever flavor it is that's you get. I give up. What was that? I give up, and I'm just gonna call it here. What do we have? I spent all this time doing this, and I feel like it's all nothing. How did all this take almost 4 hours? Why did it take so long? Time went by really fast. Well, I feel like this doesn't look like 4 hours of work. God damn. Anyway, that's it. That's it for the if I kill 2 minutes, this will be the longest art stream I've done. Love the variety, thank you. Is there a favorite? Who's our favorite here? Do we have a favorite? My favorite. Kinda all look the same to me. The bottom left? The one where she's concerned about something? My favorite might just be the first one because that's the one I spent the most time on. The Monroe one? That is not a bottom left. Oh, you said then. Okay, I thought you were saying the bottom left was the Marilyn Monroe one. I was like, that is not bottom left. Ay, alright. That's it. You don't have to rank them all. That's okay. I'm gonna call it. I need food in me and I need to rest my hand. Oh my god. I guess I'm not gonna be doing it. I also ran out of water. Okay. Probably not gonna be doing anything for the rest of the day with my hands. Alright. Well, that's it. The next time I stream will be whenever I stream. I would hope that the next time will be when I will have moved in. Someday. But thanks for watching me draw. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry if the stream seemed a little low energy. I don't care. I don't care. I hope the next stream will be a little bit more energetic at least, but we'll see. Thanks again. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good night. Make sure you fucking eat a fly. Goodbye.